What's it about?
The Fury versus AJ one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start this one. Anthony Joshua lost to Daniel Dubois. That is his 4th loss in professional boxing.
And both of us believe he should retire.
I don't know if I believe that.
You don't think AJ should retire?
No.
You think he should fight on?
I think that there's big money fights against Wilder, where I think that is still a big money fight, not as big as it was in days gone by, but I think AJ versus Wilder does more money than, say, Daniel Dubois against Zhang, right?
Yeah.
Even, do you know what I mean? So even though that'll be a world title fight. So there's still big money fights out there, and I don't think that Wilder is as dangerous as he once was. I don't think AJ is as dangerous as he once was. I think that there's a big money fight potentially with Tyson Fury, which still, whether we like it or not, does a lot of money in Britain. And both those fights are the risk versus the reward for me, because we're not looking at him like an elite guy. He could go in there and lose both those fights and still be 100 million up. So
Bro,
for me, on that
you're
basis,
wicked,
for me,
you're
on
wicked,
that,
bro.
why?
You're wicked.
I'm talking.
How can you expect a man like that to, bro? This guy was lidge on his head top in Wembley.
No, he
bro.
was breakdancing, but still, the reality, bro. I'm in the last few years, we've seen Dillian Whyte go out terribly against Tyson Fury. We've seen Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora is still fighting. Still fighting. He's retired more times than Jay-Z. That's the.
Yeah, but we're talking
this is what
about
we've
the
seen.
ceiling of AJ, bro. The legacy of AJ, bro.
But I think well, listen, let's talk about this now. Does he already have part from the top end of his legacy is solidified? He's 2-time world champion. He's not going to be a 3-time world champion. I predicted that over a year ago, that he's not going to be a 3-time world champion. So the legacy from a world champion perspective is solidified. Now, in terms of the ceiling, what do those losses do to him? Because I think Tyson Fury already potentially, arguably, has a better legacy than AJ anyway, partly because of the way that he's conducted his career, and he hasn't conducted his career in the way that I would have wanted him to. But because of that, Tyson Fury has 1 loss. It will be 2 after he fights Usyk. AJ's already got 4 losses. They've both got the loss to the same guy. There's a big argument that Fury's already got a better legacy than AJ. AJ can go and make 100 mil losing both those fights, and his legacy is not going to be too far tarnished than what it is now.
So you say Fury's got a better legacy than AJ?
I can see the argument for that.
I think
I can see the argument.
I don't even think it's a question. I genuinely believe in.
Look, I was arguing with a guy on Twitter.
It's tough.
This guy said Anthony Joshua still is the biggest boxing star the UK's ever had. One of Fury's fans said, I think Fury would disagree. And I pointed out, Fury has 7 world title fights. AJ has 13. AJ has sold out UK. We're talking about UK. AJ has sold out UK stadiums 7 times. Fury's only sold out a UK stadium twice. AJ has generated roughly between PPV and tickets sold in the UK alone, somewhere around 70 million in revenue, more than Tyson Fury. And in terms of social media followers, just we're talking about legacy, popularity, whatever, AJ's got twice as many, 28.3 million, 14 million for Tyson Fury. So in terms of that popularity thing, in terms of numbers, AJ is far ahead. But Tyson Fury has conducted his career and arguably managed to pull the wool over the people's eyes.
Who do you say has got a better resume?
AJ has better names on his resume, but he also has 4 losses to 3 different people. Tyson Fury still, if he loses to Usyk and he retires, his only loss will be to the person who is clearly the best in the division.
Who has better wins?
AJ, but not by a big margin. So I'm like, AJ has better wins, but he also has worse losses. So it's like, how much do you average it out across the two? That's why I can see the argument that Fury fans have of, well, our guy doesn't have as impressive big stadium. He doesn't have that brand to be the big stadium guy.
Some will say that Fury has better wins than AJ.
Why? Other than Wilder?
Wilder and Klitschko.
Okay, yeah.
But then the counter argument is obviously AJ fought Klitschko, AJ fought Povetkin, AJ fought
Tyson Fury
Parker.
has fought 2 people who were ranked number 1 at the time that he fought them. AJ has fought probably 15 people who were in the top 5 or top 10 at the time that he fought them. So Tyson Fury's got the 2 guys that were the guy. He doesn't have, between those fights, he was fighting people that were a lot lower level opposition in and around that time.
Facts.
So that's why I'm saying I think it's close. It's a close debate.
But I think it's not close. I think AJ has a by far better wins than Fury. But I think Fury's got a much better legacy.
When has AJ ever dethroned a world number 1?
You can make the argument. You can make the argument that he beat Klitschko at the time.
Who?
AJ.
Klitschko was not world number one at the time.
Who was world number one?
Who was world number one? Klitschko was coming out of retirement, wasn't he?
No, he was 2 years off out of the ring. But he was world number one.
Klitschko didn't have a belt. Who had a belt at the time? Or the belts were all...
The belt was scattered. Fury
scattered.
had relinquished it.
Okay.
Charles Martin had one. AJ had one, which AJ got from Charles Martin.
Yeah.
Parker had one, who he subsequently beat, and Wilder had one. But Wilder at that time...
So at the time, Tyson Fury would have been the guy.
No, but man
I know
was
he
out
wasn't there.
I
I understand that. So the question was, tell me a time when AJ has dethroned someone who was number one.
I'd make the argument that Klitschko.
No, but he wasn't world number one. It would have been Tyson Fury.
No, but you can't say that, bro. You can't say that. So then no one's world number one in welterweight because Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, fine. Klitschko. So they both got Klitschko. If I give you that, go on.
Yeah.
Then who else?
As I said, at the time when he fought Parker was undefeated, and then Parker also beat Wilder. So you have to bear that in mind. Who is
okay? So then you've
Wilder's
got
best win.
They both got Klitschko.
You got Alexander Povetkin, former world champion as well. You got...
Man's going into places I didn't ask him, but okay.
You asked me who's his best wins, bro.
No, I didn't. I said, when has he dethroned someone who was world number one? The way that Tyson Fury dethroned the world of boxing, looked at Klitschko and said, you're world number one. And Tyson Fury dethroned him. Whereas AJ had a belt and Klitschko didn't. But fine, they both beat Klitschko when they were arguably world number one because Tyson Fury was on a fuckery. Fine. Those two balance out. Then Tyson Fury comes back, goes to a world champion in Wilder and dethrones him. AJ dethrones Joseph Parker. So they're 2 for 2. The other guys who were previous world champions and different things like that, that's not the same. That's fine. That's fine.
Fury hasn't fought previous world champions, though.
I agreed. So we'll get to that. But just in terms of who has dethroned a world number one, they've both got 2. So they're balanced. Now we can talk about the rest of the resume. Because I think those two cancel each other out. Klitschko and Klitschko cancel each other out. Wilder and Parker cancel each other out. Now if your argument is, okay, cool, now that's your argument's going to what I was saying of AJ's got more top 5, top 10 thing, then we can go through that list. They both beat White.
Yeah, they both beat White. They both beat Wallin. But then I also feel like when you look at the 4 losses, 2 of those was to Usyk, which Fury's about to have 2 to Usyk. One of them was to Ruiz, which he avenged.
Yep.
And one of them was to Dubois.
Yep.
Which he got knocked out against.
Yep.
But let's not act like the wins from Fury hasn't been horrible as well. The win that he had over flipping Ngannou, bro, that's questionable. And that's on his resume. That ruins his legacy, bro. The win that he had over Otto Wallin, where the guy could have got stopped over that cut, I would argue, I don't think he should have got stopped. But
that's a good argument for AJ. I like the argument for AJ that when they fought the same opponents, AJ's looked better against the same opponents.
Exactly.
Yeah, because what was the result with him and Klitschko? Points.
He knocked out Klitschko. And Fury went the distance with Klitschko.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant. Fury went points. AJ knocked him out. Wallin, AJ stopped him.
Whereas he went the distance with
Fury. Yep.
Ngannou.
Yep.
And AJ. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Against Usyk, AJ didn't really look like getting knocked out in round 9.
Yeah,
he looked like he got saved by the ref there.
Fury got saved by the ref. So
it's a good argument.
Who's got a better legacy? Let the people in the comments know. I don't know.
Yeah, who do you think has got a better overall legacy if they stop right now?
Obviously, Usyk's going to retire Fury.
Yeah.
So if Fury gets slapped by Usyk, obviously if Fury beats Usyk, it's not even a question.
And this will massively change if they fight each other.
I don't even want to see that, fam.
Why not?
Bro.
Do you know why I want to see it? Because right now we're having a back and forth argument. People in the comments are going to argue. But if we see them fight, that will dead the argument for me. But I think it's close enough. Their resumes and legacies are close enough.
No, because if AJ beats Fury, people are going to say, oh, Fury has passed his best. If Fury
They're both past their best. They've both lost. They're both past their best. Their best days are behind both of them. I think that there's a good shout that if whichever one of them loses, if Fury is to lose to Usyk, which I think that he will, but then I think if those two fight each other, that could be a legacy defining fight between the two of them.
Potentially.
I think it's close. I think it's you going AJ.
Nah, what do you mean?
As legacy, I mean.
Legacy, no, I'm going Fury at legacy.
Fury's got a better legacy than AJ? You just argued the opposite.
I said AJ's got a better resume, bro.
Okay. So who do you think's got a better legacy?
Fury. Man's got 4 losses. But I said the counter argument has got a better resume.
Fine. Yeah. I'd go with that.